What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of my $10 to 10k grind challenge, and this is a summary episode again. I have marked down a few hands I want to look at, but before we do that, let's just check where we're starting at. So let me do this and increase this. So we're starting out at 96 euros. Finally turn around with a few positive sessions before and just for tabling the $1 on GG. Tiny spoiler ahead, I'll be adding another site soon, so stay tuned for the next episodes. Also, it really helps if you like this episode and leave a comment. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Anyway, back to this one. So we start out with 96 euros. This is like it was a longer grind, kind of. Yeah. Let me see if we have some leaderboard info here. Yeah, position 24. This was slightly before the week ended, I think Monday or Tuesday. Sorry guys for a little bit delay in my uploads. You will get some more stuff over the weekend for sure. Some stuff in the pipeline, so to speak. And just super long to-do lists. And I mean, I'm prioritizing this kind of the grind, but then also creating the videos. It all takes time, so please excuse like that there were no videos for 2 days, I think. But more coming soon, and I'm trying to be consistent, at least 5 videos a week. Usual time, late evening. Yeah, that's that. And so we're starting out here with a 10x, which is of course nice. I want to have a look at a few spots here, but before that, let's just scroll through and see, like, okay. So we have a 4x from button. What would you do? For me, it's very clear. I'm playing this for the win. 4x, yeah, this is often like a scared kind of hand that someone does not know how to play, but they definitely know it has a lot of value. So they're trying to get the post-flop folds and trying that you make a mistake by calling or raising here. But queens is still usually ahead of this kind of range, I would say. Oftentimes maybe flipping against ace-king. But I think there are also hands that are more difficult to play, like some ace-x. I don't know, some people like to do this with strange ace-x hands. I don't know, ace-8 off or maybe even ace-jack suited. So it's hard to tell. I wouldn't give this, normally, in my opinion, this is not a Broadway range. For some reason, that's just my experience. This is rarely king-jack, king-queen. But it could still be. It could, for me, it's more like strange ace-x hands, strong ace-x also, ace-queen, ace-king. And some pairs that people find difficult to play. Could be jacks, which is probably the top of the range playing like this, maybe sometimes queens, but a lot of 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, where they are scared of seeing a flop and not knowing what to do if a king or if overcuts come. So what I intend to do against unknown players is just jam all in. Usually you get the value from the under pairs, from some of them at least, and sometimes you're flipping, often you're ahead against some strange ace-x. You can also just raise, but then if they flat, you have a very strange spot. If there is a king or an ace on the flop, you can't really fold, but you can, pushing is also difficult because they probably just call better. So just try to keep things kind of simple. That's at least my approach most of the time, not always, unfortunately. Yeah, and so now with the dead money from small blind, this is 100% a shove. I wouldn't want to do anything else unless we had the crazy read that he's totally nutted here and does this with ace-king only or something like that. Then we can see a flop because he's probably not going to fold. And if the flop is good for us, we still get it in. And if not, we just have to fold our queens and not losing many big blinds. But as explained before, I think we are ahead of the range and should jam for value. That's what I did. Let's see how it turned out. Cheers. Unfortunately, it's still not sponsored by Coca-Cola. I don't know when it's coming. So close, I think. Okay, you get the call. I didn't remember that. But yeah. So definitely good value to jam and get the call here, but I think I remember what kind of happened then. So nice flop, 94, 95%. Not the best turn, you're like, what the fuck, the flush draw is really coming here, but we still have a flush poker, and yep, the flush comes and we just lose queens for 48 big blinds. First hand kind of in a 10x against random Matty Donkey from UK. Sorry, if you were watching, what the heck was that, Matty, please explain yourself. Okay, that's that. I have a mark here at the 11, like a note at the 11 mark. It says, no, it's actually at the 10-minute mark. It says ace-3 suited, and it says more, but I don't want to spoil it. Where is the, here's the ace-3 suited, okay. So let's have a look first. So we are definitely in the chip lead, a very comfortable position, not comfortable and from you can relax, but like a good chance to make it in the money here if things go our way a little bit, and very solid position near the bubble, not at the bubble yet, 2 players left. And generally I would say you want to apply a lot of pressure here, but you don't want to risk your chips. So that said, I don't remember the hand. I would just say if he jams or he jams, this is just a fold. If he limps, I don't think he does that normally, but maybe with aces just to trap, or a very strange hand that he can still fold. I would probably just fold if he limps. If he limps, I think we can jam profitably here, but it's a little bit close because we don't know if he is making big mistakes here, like limp calling, I don't know, Jack 10 suited or ace 6 offsuit. If he does that, then our jam becomes very unprofitable very quickly, so we have to make it a little bit player dependent. But if both of them fold, like cutoff and button, then it's a clear all in my opinion. It's unfortunate if we run into something, but it's ace-3 suited. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so he jams, and I think I remember now because I think I had a note or something that he likes to do this very, very light. And I thought like, okay, blah, blah, this has a high first place price. I want to play for the win. I could be ahead here with my ace-3 suited. But in retro, I just want to fold. Not because I don't remember the exact outcome, but I think, but because it's not worth it gambling here as a call. As a shove, you're putting pressure and you have fold equity. We don't have fold equity against him because he's all in. So yeah, I just want to see a fold here. But I make the stupid re-raise shove or call. And I, yeah. I was just laughing because I don't see it, but I'm not here right now. I'm not here because there was some thunderstorm outside, as I remember correctly. Anyway, that's really not important. What is important that I made a bad reshove here. I think that's only a very tiny part of his range that we are ahead of. A lot of we are slightly behind because it's also some ace-x, probably with a better kicker, and yeah, then we have kings and much better aces. So yep, my mistake. Okay, definitely interesting. Then I have a spot at 28 something where we have aces. Where is it? 28.30, so a little bit ahead. When is it coming? Ah, here, aces. I think, yeah, I think this wasn't... It's just a fun spot to show. Like, because this session, a lot of bad things happened. Tiny spot ahead. Crazy negative variance, again, meaning just better hands didn't hold. Like, to summarize it quickly. And I think this could have been one of it. But, yeah, let's see. So we have aces here, getting a call, beautiful. He's a rag. I expect him to rejam kind of strong hands. I mean, I probably bottom is king-queen suited, and probably not all the time, because, yeah, he has some fold equity and there's some chips in the middle, but king-queen suited is kind of really the bottom range. I think you should jam, but maybe some people disagree and would jam Jack 10 suited plus, Queen Jack suited plus. That said, of course, fantastic spot with ace. I don't need to explain that. And we call, which is nice. And he folds kings. Oh well, totally standard suck out. Not much we can do. Okay, actually not really interesting to have a look at this. A few minutes later we have king king. Here king king. Okay, not many big blinds, but everybody is short except for him. And we jam, rejam kind of. I mean, you love to see these spots because yeah, it's just nice to have a really strong hand. Yeah, but turns out not so nice. Standard. Sorry to show you bad beats. Actually, that's not my favorite thing to do. What do we have here? Okay, let's skip ahead a little bit and see if we find interesting spots. So as you can see, we had some okay multipliers here, 3 6x and 1 4x. But then it turned around a little bit, mostly 4x if I remember correctly. So here we have a bubble situation. Let's have a look at this real quick. So with 1.7 big blinds left. Oh, I think we're in the big blind, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a typical nothing you can do situation in my opinion. I could fold here. Problem is we're getting a fantastic price. He's jamming very wide. He should be jamming very wide, I think, because he'll be in the blind soon. It shouldn't be crazy wide, but you tell me if this is a call or not. I think it's a call. Next hand we lose again 0.5 big blinds and then we have 0.2 left. And if he folds the 2 next hands, he will still, even with small blind, big blind, have blinds left and we are almost dead. But maybe I'm wrong and you should just hope that for some reason they still bust. Actually, yeah, interesting. So I make the call here, which I think is fine. It's a horrible hand, of course. And he just wakes up with queens. Yeah, standard. We have even an open-ender here, but okay. Let's see. Let's have a look at this bubble a little bit, because we all three have really nice stacks. So actually, even could be some post flop playability here, and it's a 6x. Yeah. Okay, so ace check. Actually, that's interesting, right? Because what do you do here if he jams? I don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't know. Like, on average, someone from, I think it's Netherlands, jamming effectively 11.7 big blinds into us. Is it a call or is it a fold, given the bubble situation? I might say I think it's a close fold. Because there will be better situations where we can put the pressure on some of these. I mean, even though we don't have them covered. And we are risking our tournament life even though we have almost 11 big blinds left if we fold here. And there's still 1 minute until the blinds go up. Yeah, that said, I'm guessing he jammed and I called or something. No, they just fold. Okay. Still, I think it's interesting. I can actually fast forward here a little bit. How was it? Plus. Yeah. Let's do 2x. So here, that's also interesting. What do you do? I think jamming is probably okay. Yeah, sometimes he wakes up with a better pair. And sometimes he decides to call with a hand we are flipping. That's the only problem. So I think this situation depends on how do you expect villain in the big blind to perform. Is he able to lay down his ace 5, king 10 suited, maybe even ace 8 suited, ace 8 off hands? Or will he call and put you in a terrible ICM all-in spot? So if he's able to fold here a lot, then I think this is a jam. If he's calling too much, We should probably just fold or hope for a cheap flop. Post-flop play, we could min-raise, and if he folds too much against min-raise. So it's really player dependent, I think. And it's hard to say. Really not an easy spot. I decide to jam, he folds. Okay. I don't hate the jam, that's for sure. Problem is, if he's too wide, then I hate it. Jack 7 suited, I think it's a fine fold. Given the stack size are so similar, maybe we can open fold. It's not terrible, I guess, but why risk it? He has such a comfortable position. I'd like to do it with a better hand, like Jack 9 plus suited or Jack 10 off maybe. I think the defend here with a suited king is fine. We are very deep. We can have some post-flop play here. And of course, this is one of the better flops. Question is, what do you do? Do you check raise? Do you donk? To which kind of sizing do we call? I think donking is okay. Could hit our range, but it's like kind of this flop hits, I think, our ranges in this situation kind of equally. So donking not terrible, I would say, but generally you shouldn't donk too much. So if he bets, I think a check raise is very aggressive. Problem is you will have to fold your equity unless you check raise all in, which is also crazy. But could be even the better play than just normal check raise folding. Because if you check raise, like say he bets 2 big blinds on the flop, we re-raise to 5.5 and then he jams. I think ICM-wise it's probably a fold, or we can call, but it's a total gamble. So I would say if he bets, it's just a call, because we can be beat already. We don't have the nut flush draw even. It's second nut's still good, but yeah. So I advocate for playing more passively is all I'm saying. But given his flop check, we could donk this. He can also check back some 9s here, but I don't know if he does that. You could donk and then be aggressive on a good river. Yeah, of course, 1 big blind we just call. Now we have a straight, which is nice. He checks back. I think it's okay as played. Donking river, you could do that, maybe 1 big blind or something like that. Yeah, but we expect him to bet this river a bit too, I would say. Sometimes bluff, sometimes value. Yeah, okay. Check 10 off here. Maybe I'm not in the zone, but I really think these are difficult spots. I think limping is the best, or min raising. So, because with your min raise he jams, we can still fold. There can be a lot of flops where we can put a lot of pressure with a lot of equity against him. We can bring a tiny c-bet and fold against the jam if we totally miss it. And yeah, I think min raising is the best option. Limping is okay. Jamming, I think, is to lose. It's not totally bad. Yeah. We limp, which I don't love. Like I said, just min raise and tiny bet on the flop. And he donks 2 big blinds, so yeah, easy fold. King deuce. I don't hate the open. You can also be a little more conservative. And now what do you do? Like, I would definitely bet very tiny here, 1.4 big blinds, and then fold to some action and just give up. I think that's what I did. Tiny 1.1, and he folded, which is nice. Yeah, I think we can defend this. He is still quite something behind if you flop well. But you can also fold a little bit nitty, but it depends on how active or not active we assume he is. Fold, fold, fold. Yeah, I think min raise folding ace-4 off is fine here. You tell me if this is a good idea. Jamming all in. Interesting. Again, I don't hate it because he has to fold a lot, but then again, both of them can wake up, and if they call, we're probably crushed here with ace-4. Best case scenario that I have a pair like, I don't know, 3s, but normally they have like 8s plus or something like that. And yeah, it's risking a little much. I prefer the min raise and fold to action. But maybe it's a good jam, I don't know. Jack 8. I would probably limp Jack 8 off. And that's nice. They are both all in against each other. And he makes the comeback. And bubble is about to burst. King deuce, yeah. Can lay it down or can min raise. And we are in the money. Okay, so I don't wanna... Like, heads up is also interesting, but a little less interesting than ICM spots in my opinion. So I have something written down for 132. Oh, what's that? What's happening here? Let's see a little bit what's going on here. Oh, we just folded the jack. Okay. No, I was just surprised. I thought, forget it. This is an interesting all-in. King 9 off against ace queen. Shouldn't really happen, but it's good. No, it's not good for us because they have so many big blinds. Something should... Where is it? Oh, it's 32.50. Okay. Let's have a little bit look at this bubble and here. And wait for the hand that I've written down. Oh, okay. Queens in the big blind. Yeah, I think queens is... No doubt. I think if both are all in, it's... That's interesting. Would you call if both of them are all in? I could believe that you actually should only call king plus in this spot as the tiniest stack, because we have none of them covered. I think queen would be a fold if both of them are all in, but it's close. King would be a call, that's my guess. But in this case, if one of them is all in, it's definitely a call. Let's see. He jams, he folds, definitely a call. And yeah, okay. Just unlucky, especially with this turn. Really, really bad run. Yeah. Nothing we can do. Skip ahead a little. I have one more spot, 35, 15. Maybe here somewhere. Ah, okay. It's just marked this as crazy all in with 8s. Yeah, this is an interesting spot in my opinion. So he's in the big blind with half a big blind left. Nothing to think about here, but he makes a 3x, which for me usually is some kind of crap hand that he still likes to play and likes to get folds, but doesn't know what to do with. Could be Jack 5 suited or King 6 off or an Ace X, any kind. A very strange pair like 6s or Jacks or whatever. I think against him we always have to get it in with 8s. Now he's just calling. That depends again on the player what this could be. A good player has aces and kings here, maybe not even kings. And some queen jack suited, jack 10 suited type of hands maybe. But then I still think it's just a bad pure call. So I think his range is very weak in general, because I don't assume he's doing this much with aces. Sometimes, yeah, but... So I just would still rejam my 8s here, which I did. And he folds. And for some reason, 3x, 8-4 off, and then call. And all in is a thing. King 5 suited, of course, like what the heck. He doesn't have much chips left that he needs to put in, so the call after his call against him is kind of good, but still crazy, and he is kind of irrelevant. And yeah, good board, not fantastic with his gut shot, but still good. And we hold. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice, and I think that's it what I wrote down for this session. Let's skip ahead a little bit, see if we still have some bubble spots in this one, in the 10x, and then I would call it a day. Yeah, limping here with his limp. I think he was very active, and seeing a cheap flop with a queen 10 type of hand out of position, still okay. And that's a good flop, 2 pair. Against his big size, we are a little bit scared, of course. There are a lot of bad turns, but raising, in my opinion, does not make sense. We can have us totally beat with a better 2 pair or straight, or even a set of aces or whatever. The turn is very nice. I mean, if we were ahead on the flop, we are still. If we were behind, we are still behind. So, yeah, I think checking here is fine. And the river here, I actually want to go for some value, I would say. Depends on his tendency to play a river when checked to, but I would go for tiny value. I give him a lot of ace x, sure. Maybe he made a better 2 pair with ace 7 now, but we are beating most of his ace x. That check back a turn. So I would go for a tiny value bet, 2.5 big blinds or something, or maybe even a little bit higher, maybe even just half pot most of the time. But he does it for us, so easy call here. There's no reason to raise, in my opinion. And here's ace deuce, which is fantastic. And jacks here. Yeah, you can raise and like call his all in to induce or jam. Generally, I think jam's better option. Depends on how he plays. And we actually are flipping against the crazy ace queen wake up in the big blind and hold, which is nice. Check 9, yeah, I want to open this. Question is, what do we do if pin chat from Russia shoves all in? I want to see bet this flop. Sure, yeah, he can check raise and put us in a difficult spot. But then again, we have so much equity. He shouldn't call much here unless he really has the 8 or open-ender, which you block a little bit. Or a 7, like an ace 7 type of hand, king 7, 10-7 suited with backdoor flush. He could jam these, of course, but I think generally speaking, with this hand on this board, we should bring a tiny c-bet, like 1/4 to 1/3. I'm bringing the c-bet now, and he folds. Okay, still a good result, even though it would have been a straight on the river, which you hopefully this time don't miss to see, if you know what I mean. Easy fold here. Do I remember this? I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, let's see. Ace 8 suited, I think it's a pure jam. You can also raise and fold against his re-raise. Because it's not strong enough to induce. Yeah, I think the jam is the best option, even though it's not super happy because, yeah, they could wake up and then we are not really far ahead with ace 8 suited. And here I think we have to call him if he jams, but he does not, which is good. Oh, we also have a bubble position here, and of course we jam this, and it's a nice full house, which is actually good. And we almost survived the bubble here, and we are still the chip lead. He should be super tight here because this guy is almost all in, but he folds. Oh, let's skip back a little bit. What happened in the other one? Yeah, talk about bad calls. I would like to know if someone who studies ICM spots and knows the equity stuff, is this ever call? Wait, what happened exactly? So forget the action up here, it's just here. We have ace 9, okay, he folds. Ace 9, small blind, 2.5 big blinds into 1 big blind. So he only needs to call 1.5. 1.5 to win 3.5. So he has great equity here. Yeah. He's getting like he needs less than 30% chip EV, but he a little bit more dollar EV. I don't know if it's a good call. I would probably fold his hand. I think it's close. Suited, I might call. Check 9 suited, 10-9 suited, I would probably call. But 10-8, you tell me if it's a good call. But yeah, he gets there and we bubble this one. I think there's no question about it's a fine jam, 100%, but yeah. Okay, let's have a look again up here. Our last one. King jet suited. Yeah, if he would jam, we would fold, of course. Crazy ICM. And this one is just a rejam. Boom, 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 boom. And the flip. Okay, yeah, so we survived this bubble. Very nice. Deuce, fold. Clear pot odds call 0.1 for 2.6 big blinds, the clearest pot odds call I've ever seen. And we hold this very nice. Actually a good run in the last one. Yeah, I want to put in some more money, but then if he really jams here, I can fold. Yeah, I think. Now it's interesting. Do we see bet? I would float here for sure. Strange run out. And we are still good against this very strange king deuce donk. Not the worst donk on this flop generally, like it should hit his range a little bit more than ours, but in a heads up situation, yeah. Yeah, I think you should write these things down. If you see these people again and they face a similar situation, could be worth noting. And here if he jams, I think my ace-x is a call, and as we see, it's a correct call. But he binks it, and we are like, he has almost 10x our stack. Check 4, I don't know, I think it's a fold. I jam. I think it's a fold. Very nice turn, but we don't get there. And so this session, wow, it was a new record-breaking session in terms of negative record. Minus 17 euros within 1 hour and 46 minutes. Crazy, but it is what it is. And yeah, let me know. This is the graph. Let me know what you think about some of the plays we discussed. And hope you enjoyed this summary, which is around 30 minutes long. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes coming very soon, and good luck at the tables. Bye bye.